Are you sure you're really cleaning this place? One unnoticeable mistake can lead to the appearance of a characteristic age-related odor. You can be sure that you thoroughly understand personal hygiene issues. But most people overlook one important area, which eventually causes a persistent, recognizable scent of a fading body. Researchers from Japan, delving into the mysteries of longevity, found that every centenarian followed one seemingly simple but extremely significant habit. He cleansed this particular part of the body daily and thoroughly. It is here that the sebaceous glands are most active, and conventional products, like soap, are powerless against the accumulated odor. The most striking thing is that this area is either washed incorrectly or completely ignored. Do not switch, because it is this area that holds the key to feeling clean and youthful skin. Once you get to know her, you'll never make the same mistake again. Have you ever wondered why some older people have a special smell that neither perfume nor antiperspirant can hide? I've never paid any attention to it either, until one day I came across it personally. It all started with a visit to my grandfather, whom I haven't seen for a long time. He was always exceptionally neat. He started every morning with an invigorating shower. His clothes were immaculately ironed, and the house was clean and tidy. But when I entered his room, I immediately noticed a peculiar smell that did not resemble either old things or household chemicals. At first, I didn't think much of it, but I soon realized that the scent wasn't just coming from the room. It was permeating his skin and even his fresh clothes. It wasn't unpleasant, but it was palpable. It was the smell of old age. At that moment, I remembered my childhood. An elderly neighbor lived in our house, respected by everyone, but the children tried to keep their distance. They whispered among themselves, "He smells like Grandma's old pantry." At the time, I didn't understand why some older people had this smell, and others didn't. Years passed, and one day I met an elderly doctor who shared a secret with me. It turns out that most people do not suspect that the smell of old age is not at all a consequence of age. It occurs due to one seemingly minor mistake in body care. Is it possible to avoid the smell of old age? I couldn't help but think that there was something more to it, a scientific explanation. I started digging deeper and came across research by Japanese scientists conducted back in the early 2000s. They revealed a curious phenomenon. After 40 to 50 years, a special substance, 2-nonenal, begins to be actively synthesized in human skin. In youth, the body naturally controls the oxidation processes, and this compound is not formed. But with age, the mechanism malfunctions, and the skin begins to release volatile substances that create a recognizable aroma of aging. I continued to explore the topic and discovered 2-nonenal cannot be washed off with simple soap. It is absorbed into the skin, settles on the hair, and penetrates deeply into the fibers of clothing. But the most amazing thing is that there is one area on the body where this substance accumulates especially actively. What is this area that hides the smell of old age? I went to a dermatologist who confirmed that 2-nonenal is distributed unevenly throughout the body. The main risk zones are the area behind the ears, neck, and skin folds. But one area turned out to be a real reservoir of this compound. I was surprised when the doctor advised me to pay special attention to the upper back, between the shoulder blades. Try to rinse this area properly. The result will amaze you. Why her? Everything is simple. There are many sebaceous glands in this area, which begin to work more actively with age. People rarely wash their backs thoroughly, especially the elderly, because it is inconvenient. Ordinary soaps and gels can't handle nonenal because it doesn't dissolve in water. When I told my grandfather about it, he just grinned. I've washed my face, shaved, and kept myself clean all my life, but I never thought that the real reason for the smell was hiding on my back. Is it possible to get rid of the smell of old age? After this conversation, I decided to help my grandfather change his hygiene and check if removing the nonal can really make a difference. I bought him a special sponge with a mild peeling effect, and instead of the usual soap, I offered him a gel with citrus and green tea extract. Scientists have proven that acids and antioxidants help break down 2-nonanol molecules. We have introduced a new ritual to thoroughly clean the back, especially between the shoulder blades, and change the towel every 2 days. A week later, I visited my grandfather again. When I entered his house, I immediately noticed the difference. That subtle scent that used to be in his room has disappeared. And when I hugged him, he smiled. "Well, does it make a difference?" "Oh, yes," I answered honestly. Grandfather laughed and said, "It turns out that old age is not a sentence. The main thing is to know where to wash." What should I do to prevent the smell from returning? If you are familiar with this problem, don't worry, everything can be changed. The smell of old age is not an inevitability. It only signals processes in the body that can be controlled. All you need is a little attention to yourself and your habits, simple but effective steps. Cleanliness is not only hygiene, but also self-care. Wash your back and the area behind your ears every day. These places are often left without proper attention, but it is here that sebum accumulates, and with age it hardly increases. Use soft sponges or brushes for hard-to-reach areas, but don't overdo it. Too much friction can cause skin irritation. The right soap matters. Conventional shower gels do not always cope with skin oxidation. Replace them with cleansers with antioxidants. Yuzu extract, apple cider vinegar, lemon, green tea. They help to neutralize oxidative processes and give the skin a fresh fragrance. Wash your clothes more often, especially if you wear synthetic materials. Natural fabrics such as cotton and linen allow the skin to breathe, but synthetics trap sweat and skin secretions, enhancing the smell. Change the bed linen at least once a week. Eat in such a way that your skin smells fresh. Your diet affects your body odor. Add more herbs, fresh vegetables, and water. They reduce oxidative processes in the body, reducing the production of 2-nonanol. Limit fatty, fried, and overly spicy dishes, as they can enhance the smell. Moisturize your skin to avoid excessive release of 2-nonanol. The drier the skin, the more oxidative processes occur in it. Use light lotions with vitamin E, jojoba, and shea butter. They nourish the skin, protecting it from drying out and slowing down aging. A small habit is a big result. I would never have thought that a simple change in hygiene habits could affect my well-being so much. Now I know that unpleasant body odor is not a verdict, but a consequence of processes that can be controlled. And most importantly, the solution turned out to be surprisingly simple. If you or your loved ones have noticed this problem, try these methods. You might be surprised how easy it is to maintain freshness and comfort at any age.